Hey subscribers, I wanted to shoot a couple of videos. I'm getting ready to ship this machine, and we don't have any videos on the channel right now about the Husqvarna 3010. Really a cool machine and kind of a forgotten machine because of all the glory that the 21 and the 21A and the 19E and the 21E, they get all the spotlight, and this beautiful machine, at least on most channels I've visited, is totally absent. So I wanted to do a couple of quick clips on this and start with an introduction and kind of talk about the machine a little bit and get you familiar with it, because it really is an amazing Swedish machine. So let's go ahead and start on the bottom right hand side. You can see right here we've got Sweden model 3010, and right above it, it's a little bit hard to see, this is going to be to drop the feed dogs. You simply push it in to drop the feed dogs, and then you push it and it pops back out to get those feed dogs to pop back up again so that you're able to resume regular sowing. Similar to the 21A, it has a little tab right here. The 21A has the tab on top. This machine, the 3010, has the tab on the bottom. The purpose of that tab is to allow you to use stop points as far as sewing buttonholes. I'm not going to demonstrate that, but that is its purpose. This knob also serves as the stitch width control. You can see right now we're on 0 because we're going to be doing sew offs that are going to be a straight stitch for the most part. And if you wanted to access the 3 cam stitches that are engineered into this machine, just like the 19E, then you move this knob to the left somewhere between 1 and 4, and then you're able to get something other than a straight stitch. The knob right above it is serving a couple of purposes. It's going to be stitch length control, and this goes way down, all the way from about 0.5 all the way to 4. So it's going to give you a very wide range in generating different stitch outcomes. Also, by pushing this button in, you're going to be able to sew in reverse, and when you want to resume sewing forward again, you simply release it. To my left here, you can see that there's a couple of different functions here. Primarily, it's going to be needle alignment. If you move it to the left, it's going to move the needle to the left. You move it to the right, it's going to move the needle to the right. And whenever you're wanting to access those 3 built-in cam features, you basically have a zigzag, you've got a stretch stitch, and then you have a blind hem stitch. This knob position needs to be in the middle. And if you move a little bit to the left, I'm going to show you like the other Husqvarnas. If you need to access this bulb for changing, you simply pull this housing down, and then once you put a new bulb in, and general rule is you don't want to exceed 25 watts. I know that some of the customers have, and they don't seem to have had any adverse results, but Husqvarna does recommend a 25 watt bulb. You don't have to buy an expensive bulb on eBay. If you have in your area something like a Home Depot or the equivalent, you're going to be able to find a you're going to be able to find a replacement bulb for this Husqvarna, as long as it's 25 watts and the contacts that go in and make connection to make the light work, then you'll be good to go. So I just push that back up, move a little bit further to the left. Right here on the front, you've got a couple things. I'm going to move my light in a little bit to illuminate it even better. This right here is going to be your tension spring. It's kind of hidden in there when you thread, and we'll go through the threading real quick. You've got to get that thread underneath here to make sure that you've got a solid tension on the thread itself. And this thread adjustment right here for tension, upper tension, is going to have a wide range all the way up to 9. And then also, I'm not going to adjust it right now, but if you were to move it up like this, there's even a preset for the buttonholer so that you're able to know what the tension setting should be on that. And you can just barely catch a glimpse of that little red dot. That's what they're recommending as a median type setting for upper tension for most sewing. I've got it a little bit higher because we're going to be sewing heavy grade multiple layers, and that allows us to do that more easily. Also, I've got to open this kind of carefully, because you can see the thread when it comes off the top comes through that tension control, but you can see inside, if I rotate the machine, hopefully you can see, it's going to be kind of a stretch for our camera person. Right here inside of the faceplate, similar to, we had a customer from Sweden ask about the 21A as far as adjusting presser foot pressure. This red one is going to be your quick release. You basically would slide it forward and then it pops up to release all pressure, and then when you want to go ahead and set that presser foot again so you have pressure, you push it downward and back, and it's going to lock into place. And the rule is the same always. When it comes to presser foot pressure, if you've got thicker, heavier material, you want to increase it. If you've got thinner material like velvets, satins, and the equivalent, you want to reduce it. So we go back up to the top of the machine. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this machine back again, and I'll rotate it forward as well. You can see coming off the back of the machine, we basically come across like this, and there's going to be the first thread guide right here. It kind of slides in, and then it comes over. I'm going to rotate it like this. It comes over the top through that little space, and there's a disc guide right here that thread has to go in between the take-up arm and the disc itself. It then comes down like so, around the tension control, all the way up to the arm. And the book recommends you can use the first hole. There's two holes on here. You may not be able to see them, but on the take-up arm there's a forward hole and a rear hole, primarily because this machine is capable of not only dual needle sewing, but triple needle sewing as well. So it has different thread points through here, but for regular sewing I would put it in the forwardmost one. You're then going to come down. You can see right here there's a thread guide. There's another thread guide just above the needle. You have to come through there, and then this needle gets threaded from the front to the back. Apart from that, it's an extremely easy machine to use. It's got a slightly smaller motor than the 21A. The 21A is going to have a 1.5 amp motor. This is going to have a 1 amp motor, but again, because of the engineering of these Swedish machines, this thing's going to max and peak out probably between 1.2 to 1.3. The engineering on these motors is just mind-boggling on what they can output. The other thing I'll show you real quick, and then we'll close out this segment, is you can see right now I've got it positioned so that you can see the bobbin winder. Just like the 21A, the 19E, and other ones, the beauty of being able to wind a bobbin on this machine, and again I'll just show you from the back here if the camera can get a shot up here. You're going to put your spool of thread right here. There's a thread guide right here that can actually pop out. I don't know if you can see that. It pops out. It can slide in and out. So you'll thread from here down to here and then over to your bobbin. I'm just going to put this bobbin on like so, and then push on the foot control, and as I'm spinning this I'll rotate the machine as well so you can see that there's no movement on the needle. So go ahead and depress the foot control. Now if we wanted to resume sewing, we just take off the same bobbin, and I hope I didn't misalign my thread in any way with that tension control. We're going to kind of roll the dice here and put this under the presser foot. Notice we haven't done anything other than remove this bobbin from the bobbin winder, and then we'll go ahead and do a stitch off just so you can listen to that clutch re-engage automatically. Here we go. You can hear that real light click. That is the clutch re-engaging again. So I'm not going to scrutinize the stitch quality or anything like that, because this is just a stiffener, but it's an easy way to show you at least the function of that automatic feature that some people that I've spoken to about this particular machine didn't realize that the 3010 had the same feature that the 21A and other more prominent Husqvarna machines have. So this in a nutshell, apart from you that are regular followers of us already know that you can release this bed to access that free arm very easily. Also to change out the bobbin if you so desire. This is obviously the raceway area here. Again, something that I haven't mentioned, and this machine has the same feature, is when the Swedish engineered this machine because they realized that people would be using different thread types, heavier threads. This has a floating type raceway feature that makes it virtually impossible to jam it. And actually, in doing the sew-offs that I've done on this machine, getting it ready for this customer that lives in Oregon, it's going to be shipped today. I've never been able to jam the thing, and it's because it has this retainer plate has a floating feature that allows that bobbin and that raceway to be able to kind of come in and out a little bit to allow that thread to feed through very easily. So it's just, I can't say enough when it comes to the Swedish on how smart they are when it comes to engineering their machines to be as user-friendly and to be as problem-free as possible. So this kind of wraps up the introductory. Make sure you check out the other videos. We're going to be doing some quick sew-offs as confirmation videos for this customer who primarily is interested in using this machine for sewing heavy canvas. Makes cots and other type outdoorsy type items like that. So we're really going to be testing this machine particularly in sewing heavy grade canvas. And the canvas we're going to be showing, I'll just show you real quick, is actually cut from this. This is a shelter half, US grade, US Army, so nothing lightweight about this stuff at all. So thanks for watching, and check out those other videos as well.